I have to say that you mentioned Acela, and I have to say that a lot of people, including me, we look at the Acela, and some of us have been on the trains in Japan or the TGV in France, and we say, this is what we have to sell. Is the Acela? This is the best we can do. And so there's this riff going around the internet, around the blogs of the super train, and what we really want is a super train. I mean, what is that something that is possible to link up all the cities in the Midwest?
The only thing between 3 hours with downtown Boston and downtown New York, which would effectively eliminate air transportation, is improving that overhead catenary system between New Haven and New York. I mean, anything's fine when you get to New Haven.
And what kind of investment is that?
Relatively modest, a few $100 million. Now, there's got to be a sense of urgency. We got to get on with it. The thing has to be managed. I mean, this has just been dribbling along for years and years and years. That's the problem there. Modest additional investments in track work and this kind of thing, and those new tunnels, which are very important for the entire metropolitan New York system between New Jersey and New York. You could knock it out in 15 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes, Washington, New York, New York to Washington. Hey, it's not 2 hours and 15 minutes, Tokyo, Kyoto, but 2 hours and 30 minutes, downtown to downtown, New York, Washington, provides very, very good service. So we don't have to necessarily come up with a 225-mile-an-hour train, although the Chinese just launched the fastest train in the world. The Chinese, not the Americans, the Chinese, between Beijing and one of the major cities outside of Beijing. And they're leaving us in the dust. I mean, it's really embarrassing that in Europe and Asia see this going on. In Japan, in Korea, in China. We'll have a high-speed system in North America. You know where it's going to be? A true high-speed system. When we squeeze right away, Guadalajara to Mexico City. It's going to be the Mexicans in North America. They're going to do genuine high-speed rail. But when you have this existing system and you get it up to 100, 125 miles an hour, believe me, you talk to the folks in the Midwest. We have a 10-state plan for the Midwest, connecting Chicago with each of the major Midwestern cities. They'd love 120, 125 miles an hour. They really would, and it would be very, very good.
Do you have time for one more?
Go for it.
What is your more on trains? What is your advice to Governor Patrick about the NBTA? Is this simply a financial problem? Is it a management problem? What does one do, considering that it seems that he has a little bit more influence than previous governors have had over the years?
Look, the governors always have influence. I mean, I don't think there's anything I think Mike Dukakis and Fred Salvucci were responsible for the NBTA, and that was the heyday of the expansion and modernization of the NBTA. We've got two problems. First, expecting the NBTA to live on a penny on the sales tax a year was just a great mistake. The legislature, whoever the governor was in the late 90s, they really didn't understand what it takes. When I was governor, capital investment in the NBTA was responsibility of state government, just the way capital investment in highways is responsibility of state government. To load that onto the T with a penny on the gallon in the sales tax is just a mistake. You cannot do the kind of investment you have to do, not only in major upgrades of the existing system, but getting rail down already. Getting rail to the Cape, connecting Washington South Station, getting light rail to some.
Is that a matter of cash flow, or is it a problem of the absolute amount of money that
Well, it's a question of making it a part of the state's capital transportation program and acting accordingly. Secondly, the T has got a huge construction management organization. And either the existing management straightens it out or you get new management. Kenmore Square is the poster child for what's wrong with construction management at T. And quite frankly, it's a legacy of 16 years of Republican governors who just didn't give it to them.
A lack of accountability?
No, it's all about, look, when I was governor, I not only had the best state transportation secretary in the country, the guy that ran the NBTA construction program was a guy named Frank Keller. Now, Frank Keller was a career guy at the T who had lived through one crappy administration but who Fred knew, I didn't know this, who Salvucci knew this, was a terrific construction guy. And we put in charge of what we call the construction directorate. And Frank Keller was responsible for billions of dollars in new construction at T, much of which we got when we stopped building highways inside of 128 and were able, thanks to TIP, to turn that money into transport. The first state in the country to do that. Construction under Keppel was on time, on budget. We extended the red line from Harvard Square to Alewife 100 feet below ground. I remember nothing about collapsing ceilings, or people getting killed or injured, or leaks or any of this kind of stuff. We went under the Charles River, we used slurry walls on the Southwest Expressway, all this stuff that presumably made the big dig so difficult. And there never seemed to be a problem. Why? Because we had very competent people in place. Now, I don't know what the problem is then. All I can tell you is that as a regular user of the D line, which is now in its second year of 2 platform jobs at Longwood, in Brookline Village, and as a guy that goes through Kenmore Square often, this is just unacceptable. I mean, we're in our 5th year in Kenmore Square. Is anybody working at Arlington?
No. Yeah.
Because I don't see anybody.
No.
This has been going on forever.
Yeah. Can Massachusetts do it alone, or do they need more federal money?
Well, it would be helpful to have a federal government and a new administration that was committed to this.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, these projects are currently underway, presumably budgeted. The other thing you got to do is make decisions. What are we doing talking about spending $1.5 billion for a Silver Line bus tunnel under the city? What is this all about? And is it a priority? I mean, $1.5 billion for a bus tunnel? This is crazy.
So what can the governor do about that?
Everything. Now, believe me, I'm talking, he is very much aware of this problem. He's determined to do something. And it's beginning to move. By the way, the same problem affected Mass Highway. I mean, look at the condition of the state's highway system. I mean, some of those bridges haven't been painted since I left office. Newbury. Now, there's a new chief engineer, the highway department, Frank Tramatazzi. He's a very good guy. Beginning to see real movement, real commitment to this kind of thing. But apart from straightening out the capital financing, something's got to be done. Because it's just unacceptable to take over a year for 2 months job. And, what is Kenmore Square? I mean, I don't even know what was wrong with the bus station that was there. I thought it was pretty good. And this is a system that's crying poverty. Now we've got this thing, I don't know what it is or where it came from. And apparently it's been part of the problem. That is the design of this bus station. But they're literally in their 5th year, and they can't tell you when it's going to be finished. That's the amazing thing. But the governor knows full well what's wrong with it. He's very much aware of it and very unhappy with it. Okay?
All right. Thank you, Governor.